Welcome to the Fabulous Empty Nest with me, your host, Angie. I got, I guess you'd call it an art haul over the weekend while I was in Florida. I don't even know what to call it. My sister called me, I think I said this in my last video, she called me while I was on vacation and she's like, hey, I'm at one of my clients' house. She's a realtor. I'm selling their house and they wanted me to clean out their garage and there's like all these art supplies in there. And I think you all know this, but I am a multimedia artist as well. I don't just crochet. I paint, I draw, I make I do a lot of like super artsy stuff, but painting and drawing and crochet are like my three main things. And I am what my husband calls a very prolific artist. I have hundreds, possibly thousands of drawings and paintings. And I love sketchbooks. I love drawing in sketchbooks. So it's a thing. So she brought me this big box and I thought, how fun would it be to go through it with you and see what's in here. So the first thing I want to show you that I'm super excited about, I'm going to switch this around. This rack. I've been wanting one of these for my, my market. So I'm going to paint it white. I'm going to spray paint it white and I think it will be amazing. And it's got a bunch of attachments that go to it. And then the other thing is this mannequin. Now, the thing about the mannequin that I have to tell you is, and my sister told me, when she was bringing it out, she dropped it in a mud puddle because it was raining. It was when we had all that rain last weekend. So she dropped it in a mud puddle. So now I am going to take some woolite to it. So anyway, those are the two big items. And then I just thought I would go through some of these other items, but I'm going to need my glasses for this mission. So yesterday when I got home on Monday, and so yesterday was Tuesday, I decided I didn't want to cook. Sorry about the weird rings in my eyes. It's not great lighting right here. Anyway, oh my God, I don't know if I can handle that. Anyway, I decided I was going to make a big pot of homemade chicken noodle soup, which is kind of a family thing that my dad made, that my mom made, that my sister makes. And I just really believe in its healing qualities. And since we had been traveling and all of that, I was like, I'm just going to come home and make some just in case. It never fails. One of us usually ends up getting sick. Fingers crossed, neither of us have gotten sick yet. I still haven't completely unpopped my ears, and so that's creating a little bit of vertigo. But other than that, we've both been healthy. Other than the day that I got home, my allergy that started acting up again, which is one more reason for us to move to Florida. But enough of that right now. I don't want to stress my husband out. We are not moving to Florida today. Let's put it that way. So the first thing that's in here, it looks like a Canson drawing book. So it's just a drawing or sketchbook, but it's got pretty nice paper in it. It looks like maybe 2 or 3 pages somebody tried to paint in. So I'm just going to pull those out. Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 pages that somebody tried to paint in. And I don't even know where it is. It doesn't really matter. Somebody tried to paint in it. But I'm just going to pull those 2 out. And I have a brand new sketchbook. So excited. And then this, I have no idea what this is. It says Crayola on it, so it might just be. It's a tin, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess they're just markers. I think the Grand Muppets will definitely appreciate this. I've always had an art space in my house for when the grandkids come over, but you know, they're all getting older now and they don't think doing art with Nanny is as much fun as it used to be, I don't think. I have no idea what these are. I think they go to like this, like something that goes like that. But let's see. There's lots of these that go on that thing, the wire rack. Oh, voila, keeping with the crocheting theme. Check that out. I always like getting Susan Bates crochet hooks to give away because I don't use these. They're too flat. I can't, look, see, they're flat. I can't catch the yarn. That's just something I've never been able to use as a Susan Bates hook. Nothing wrong with them, just not for me. More of this kind of stuff. Another bag of these. Another bag of these. Oh my gosh, my husband's gonna kill me because I don't know what this goes to. Like what, there's no like tree to put these on. That's what I guess they would go on. I don't know. Oh, these are cool. So my daughter and I used to make bookmarks. This is a great little gift for friends and stuff like that. So there's some bookmarks in there. I love stuff like this because this is what I put like my crochet hooks. This is like a metal cup that's got the coolest design on it. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty big too. So I can put crochet hooks in this. I can put paint brushes in this. Score. Okay. Knitting needle. These are sin. I don't like these things. Rub and buff. I think it's to clean. Maybe I could use it to clean this cup. Then there's this cool little basket. Look at this. And guess what? It's filled with paint. Now, it's not filled with the kind of paint that I typically use. It's craft paint, but the Grands love craft paint and they love to paint because they don't get to use my good paint. So this is the paint that I give them. So yay. Probably not going to keep it in this cool little basket though, because I'm going to use that basket. Oh, more craft paint. Oh my, here is a whole container of colored pencils, I believe. Yeah, they're colored pencils. These are also just a really good score for the kids. I don't typically use colored pencils unless I'm doing something mixed media, and then I usually use watercolor pencils. But these, again, are great for kids. And if I decide not to keep these for the kids, I will donate them to one of our recovery centers. I'm really big on people doing art when they're in substance use recovery. It's really important that people get in touch with their creative side when they are healing. It's such a healing, creativity is definitely part of the healing process. We've got a couple of canvas. This one's kind of messed up, but hey, you throw some gesso on there, nobody's even gonna notice. But there's 4, the other 3 still have their wrapping on them. I'm probably gonna donate these because I have a ton of canvas already and I don't like painting on those little ones. An art palette, also going to be donated. I do like these, but I'm not gonna keep it. I'm gonna donate this as well with these. Definitely will keep this. This is one of my favorite sizes for watercolors, which I love doing. And one of these days I will show you my watercolor art, but this is a brand new. There's not one thing in there. And then we've got a mixed media pad, brand new. These are also really fun because you can do decoupage and add like watercolor and acrylic paint and, you know, pastels and all kinds of things. So these are really fun. Oh, that's pretty. Somebody was practicing their watercolor painting. And then just some odds and ends of envelopes, and it looks like somebody was maybe doing some cards. There are multiples of these, so I'm gonna keep like 2 and the rest are going to get donated to one of the recovery centers. I'm in heaven. Another mixed media pad. This one is literally brand new, and it's got 60 pages. We've got some Pop Tone Collection premium cardstock, so this can always be fun for different projects, so I'm going to keep that. And then another watercolor pad. This one looks a little older and some fun art in it. Somebody did some art in here. So I'll probably pull those out and just use what's left for, sometimes I just use these for practice pads. Like if I'm playing with mixing colors or something like that, because that paper's a little, it's kind of discolored. Couple more watercolor pads that haven't been used. And then a sketch pad that's got lots of sketching in it. And I think I'm just gonna toss this one. It's just kind of old and weird. I have no idea what these are. I'm gonna just throw these away. There's some more of these. Some more of these. I don't know. Like, these are cool and I will use them. Matter of fact, I was trying to figure out how I was gonna display my Christmas. Oh my gosh, I look like an alien. I was trying to figure out how I was going to display my Christmas stockings that I have for sale. And I can actually do it on, once I get that painted white, which I'll do this weekend, then I can display my Christmas stockings on that. That will actually be really pretty. And then there's this cool little basket. What crocheter could not use a basket like this, right? For yarn. A bunch of little paints, and you can always use a paint palette knife. More paint, a pencil sharpener, and an eraser. These are just little cheap paints, so these will be probably donated to, golly, my eyes are bad. Oh, Master's Touch Fine Art. I don't know. These might be nice. I'm going to play with them and see. But that's the tiniest canvas ever. My eyes are not good, and I see people painting on stuff like this. Not me. Not me. I'm going to throw that away too. So I'm going to wash this little thing inside here, and then I'm going to use this to put yarn in. More paint. There's actually some really nice paint in here that I will definitely use. It's not top of the line, but this is like, these are almost brand new, which is actually really cool because I'm going to tell you now, when we moved, let me just tell you a sad story. When we moved from Nashville in 2023, I was already here because I had come here to take a job. So I moved here. My husband stayed behind in Nashville to move everything out of the house, get rid of everything, and then he was going to drive our big old honkin' U-Haul out here with all our stuff. So I found us a place to live, and I was living out here, and he had to go through a 5,000 square foot house by himself that had not only our stuff, but his 84-year-old father-in-law was living with, or father was living with us, and all of his stuff. And he was not a collector, but he was a well-traveled man, and he had he had to get rid of all of that. And my poor husband was literally traumatized by the process. And he made a big boo-boo and accidentally threw away all my Christmas ornaments. I mean, every ornament that I have saved from when I became a young adult because I collected them, and I made a bunch with my mother when I was a teenager. I had all those. And then when I worked at Michael's, I had all those. And then the ones I made with my children and all those. And then as I started getting older and I would put up 4 or 5 trees, because we had a pretty big house, I just collected ornaments. I loved them. They were a huge part of my holiday season. And he threw them away. I mean, every single ornament he threw away. And I didn't realize it until we were unloading the U-Haul, and I was like, gosh, I'm not seeing my Christmas stuff. And then, Christmas came around and I was like, where are my ornaments? We could not find them anywhere. So I have had to start completely over. It was a really, really hard thing for me to accept, because there was ornaments that my grandchildren made me, that my children made me, that my spiritual advisor have given me, that clients, like just things that people have given me that meant a lot to me. And so it was really, really sad. But then it got kind of fun, because I was like, oh, well, you know what? It is what it is. It's just stuff, and I will just start collecting again. So I've had a lot of fun with that. But now what we've realized is that a bunch of my paint is missing. We can't find it. So I don't know if it's in our shed or if it's in our storage unit. I don't really have anything in the storage unit, because I don't believe in storage units, honestly. Like, if you have that much stuff and it doesn't fit in your house, get rid of it. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that's my philosophy, because I would have crap everywhere. So he has a storage unit. It's mostly his clothes. And then I think we might have like 3 Christmas trees in there. But anyway, I don't think it's in there. It's not in the shed. I don't know. I just feel like that was something else that got thrown out. So I went and bought some new stuff when I moved here, but it's not the collection that I had when we actually had an art studio. So when we lived in Nashville, we actually had an art studio that was the size of like half of the house I live in now. And it was awesome. It was awesome, but now we don't have that. So we've got woodless graphite. I love graphite. So this is cool, and it has a sharpener. And then look, I don't know what this is. It says Prismacolor turquoise soft graphite pencil set. Oh, I love pencils. Oh, okay. Yeah. These are going to be great for drawing. I'm kind of a pencil snob when it comes to my drawings, and these are definitely a score. So excited about that. Oh my gosh, stuff's starting to fall. Okay. 2 more drawing pads. This one, and they are brand new. They are brand new. And then there's just a bunch of tubes of paint in the bottom of this box that, and a couple of erasers, which I'm also kind of an eraser snob. Put that away. So yeah, like this is a fun little score, just in time for winter, right? Because in winter I hunker down and I will start pulling out my paints and everything, and my drawings, and start doing some of that along with my crocheting. But it's definitely for me a winter hobby. Some of these paints are brand new, like they haven't even been opened. So that's exciting. I don't know where I'm going to put all this stuff. Maybe it's just back in the box. I know my husband already was like, where's that wire rack going to go? Because I put it in he has a dressing room. Literally, my husband has a dressing room. And so I put it in his dressing room, and he's like, now I can't see the mirror. So I got to find a place for that. And I'm not doing any markets for this season because of my new job. So the good news is, by looking at it, it looks like it's easy to take apart, and it comes down to 3 pieces. So I think I could just easily take that apart and put the hardware into like a Ziploc bag and just tape it to it so we don't lose them. But this is my kind of my little art haul. It's kind of a fun little thing. Like I haven't done anything like this in a long time. I usually, when people try to give me things, I say no, because I don't need anything. I have too much as it is. And so this is kind of cool, kind of fun. Maybe at some point I will show you some of my art. I'm actually trying to design some crochet art to do on t-shirts and maybe a tote bag. So that would be something maybe in the near future, but I just kind of got to get back in the swing of things first and, you know, get back to drawing. So my homemade chicken noodle soup is ready for me to put the noodles in, and we're going to have dinner soon. But this was really fun. If you enjoy hanging out with me, I always appreciate a thumbs up or a like. Please subscribe. And then also comments are always, you know, the thing that brightens my day more than anything. More than a subscribe is the comments. I've been getting more, and it always makes me really happy to see that. I'd like to know how many of you out there are crocheters and have another talent. Like, are you an artist? Do you do paint and drawing? Do you, what other things do you do? I mean, I'm also a dancer. So I'm not a dancer anymore, but I used to be. And so I have lots of creative things that I like to do. What do you do? What do you do to manage yourself, your self-care? What do you do as a hobby? What do you do that animates you as a person? I'd love to hear about that. Thanks for hanging out with me in my art haul, and I'll see you really soon. I've got a new project coming up. Bye.